There's a huge debate going on in the YouTube golf world. Honestly, just the golf world. Which, if any, YouTube golfers could make it on tour. Honestly, I feel like this has been going on for a while now, but as soon as Brad Dahlke won the Internet Invitational with a ridiculous showing, I have seen this debate everywhere. So I wanted to make a video to discuss which, if any, golfers on YouTube could make it on tour. I wanted to go through some sort of like S, A, B, C, D, F tier ranking for this, but that doesn't really fit. So I built an app. Here we are, it's trending.golf. Link will be in the description. Yes, I do have some of my latest videos up here. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I plan to build a series of little mini apps. And each time I build one, I'll just put them in this app. So for now, there's one app, YouTubers on Tour. With the provided list of golfers, it's up to you to decide which ones could or couldn't make it on tour. All right, jumping into the YouTubers on Tour app, you drag them into the bucket that you think that they fit. Tour winner, golfers who could succeed on the PGA Tour and have the ability to win events. Cut maker, golfers who would struggle to succeed on tour long term but could make some cuts. YouTube golfer, golfers whose primary strength is content creation and whose game likely wouldn't translate to PGA Tour competition. And then I've got this section here, no take, golfers that you're just not familiar with, don't have confidence in where you would place them. So to avoid bad data, we have a no take category. Anyways, done wasting time with some sort of intro. Let's jump into it. Bobby Berger, YouTube golfer, not even really worth talking about. Incredible content creator, absolutely hilarious. Probably my favorite guy on all of YouTube, but let's be honest. Kyle Berkshire is a very interesting one. I know that he's working extremely hard on his all-around game. We all know him for his distance. He's an incredible long-distance driver. But when it comes to putting a full round together, we did see him in the Internet Invitational. I would say good, not great. And by the way, I'm rating these people based on right now, not what they're capable of doing at some point in the distant future, just purely right now. I think I'm being a little bit generous here, but I'm going to give him cut maker. And here's why. Like, I think that if there was a course that was pretty open, more suited for distance players, I think he could make the occasional cut. I do not think that he's ready to take on the best. He's somewhere in between YouTube golfer and cut maker right now. I'm going to give it to him just because I think in one-off scenarios, he could put a full game together with his distance and make a cut. But I think even the cuts would be pretty slim. Frankie, similar to Bob, like he's a YouTube golfer. Mac Butcher, you know, I mean, he's fun to watch. Like his shorts, like Instagram reels, slings it all over the place. But I mean, he struggles to control it. I mean, I don't think that cuts are where he's at. Chaz, this is a tough one. I'm going to put him at YouTube golfer just only because his distance he would fall behind on distance, but the guy hits every single fairway. But incredible golfer, but his distance is just going to prevent him from being able to compete on tour. George Bryan. I think a lot of people are going to say that he's a tour winner. I would disagree. I think that mentally he struggles. And so I think he could put a round together and make cuts. I think he's an incredible golfer. I think his raw skill, he has the ability to compete on tour. But I think the mental side of it and the consistency side of it puts him in the cut maker. Hopefully one day he's able to make it to the tour. I know he's like working really hard. I think he has the ability to get into that category later, but as of right now, I think he's just a cut maker. Wesley Bryan. I mean, you just have to put him in tour winner. He has won on tour. I don't know. Maybe the problem is I'm not convinced that he could win on tour today. I feel like since he has won on tour, he has to go in that category. Realistically, though, I think today's version of him is probably cut maker, but he's already won on tour. He just has to go there. Garrett Clark, solid golfer, struggles with consistency, struggles with the mental side of the game. I'm putting him in YouTube golfer. He's a top tier YouTube golfer, but I mean, he's not going to compete with the guys on tour. Brad Dahlke, tour winner, absolutely. I don't care what anybody says. I've seen several debates that people are talking about, oh, you guys just don't understand how good the tour guys are or whatever. Colin Morikawa called him a world beater. Wesley Bryan overestimates him a little bit, I think, by saying he's like a top 10 golfer in the world. I doubt that. But there's a lot of pros out there talking about Brad Dahlke being an elite level player. I mean, I'm going to trust my eyes and trust other pros instead of trusting traditional golf enthusiasts that just want to claim that no YouTube golfer can make it on tour. So Brad Dahlke, tour winner. When I originally created this app, I had a world beater category and I realized I only created it for Brad Dahlke. He's a tour winner. I'll stand on that. I think we'll see him get some sponsor invites in 2026. I really hope he shows up. I think the guy is an elite level player. Gabby Golf Girl, you know, for the sake of the women, I'm going to obviously be like LPGA tour, like a women's tour. Still, YouTube golfer. She's impressive. She's really young. I don't know a whole lot about her. I don't even know if her like intentions are really to take competitive golf on. She seems pretty solid. Saw her in the Internet Invitational, but definitely a YouTube golfer. Joey Cold Cuts. I mean, love the guy. I love all the Bob Does Sports crew, but obviously he's a YouTube golfer. Peter Finch is an interesting one. I kind of put him in a similar category to Kyle Berkshire, that I think that they sit somewhere in the middle of this YouTube golfer and cut maker. I mean, I'm being pretty tight with this, but I'm putting him as YouTube golfer. I think he's super solid, but maybe he could make a one-off cut, but I don't know that I wouldn't place my bets on him making a cut in any given event. I think he's close, but I would say he's like an elite level YouTube golfer. Grant Horvat. I mean, we've recently seen him beat Brad Dahlke, but I don't think that speaks as much for Grant as it did for how Brad played during that. I'm going to put Grant in the cut maker category, and I don't know if I fully agree with that, but I think Grant is in a similar category again to Peter Finch. I think that he sits somewhere between YouTube golfer and cut maker. But Grant is probably one of the most consistent golfers on YouTube. Like, I mean, everybody who plays against him talks about it. If you get behind Grant, it's impossible to catch up because he's just not going to blow up. He's not going to have some crazy string of birdies, most likely. But he'll get a few birdies and then just string together pars all day long. The guy's very consistent. I think he's capable of making some cuts. In some of the weaker PGA events, I definitely think he can make some cuts. I don't know. I think I might be a little biased there. I do like Grant. I'll stay with cut maker, but I think it's close. Josh Kelly, I haven't seen him do much on the competitive side of things, just mostly trick shots. Go YouTube golfer. DOD King, YouTube golfer. Taco. So this whole New Zealand crew is going to be very interesting. Now that I think about it, there are two of the New Zealand crew that I haven't added to the app. I will try to do that one after I'm done here, but I think Taco, I'll put him in cut maker. This is the same for that entire New Zealand crew. It's the mental game. I think all of them have kind of had their time in a professional level environment. Now they're on YouTube, and a lot of it's kind of goofing off, rule changes, and all these like various things. I think they're having a blast, which is fantastic. But when we're talking purely competitive golf, I mean, even cut maker might be a little bit generous. The raw talent is absolutely there, but I don't know where the mentality is if they could jump back into like a competitive environment. But Taco's an incredible golfer. I'm going to put him in cut maker. I mean, he's definitely better, I would say, than Grant. So I think it would be bad to put him in YouTube golfer and Grant in cut maker. I'll keep him in cut maker. I think he could be a tour winner. if he was actually like dedicated to improvement and like the mental side of the game. But for the sake of this, cut maker. Former Paul's King. I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about him. I just know from like the short form videos of him pausing at the top. I know he's grinding it out. I know he took the pause out of his swing, and I know he's grinding out to try to, I guess, play at more of a competitive level. I'm going to go no take on him just because I've only seen a few rounds of the guy. I was going to go YouTube golfer, but that's probably a little bit disingenuous. So I'm just going to go no take. Luke Kwan. This is probably going to be the toughest one of them all. Luke is absolutely a tour winner player when it comes to raw skill. But in the same vein as Taco, it's the mental side of the game that I don't know if he has anymore. He's too like nonchalant, I don't care, and laughing and joking around. Again, that's completely fine, but can you turn it on for a competitive event or not? I'm going to go cut maker, and that feels kind of crazy. I'm going to say that he would be like number one in the cut maker category. And if he could flip that switch, I think he could win on tour. But it's purely dependent on if he has that ability to flip the mental switch. Cole Lance, YouTube golfer. Micah Morris. I see Micah Morris grinding it out. Like, I know that he wants to play competitive. I don't know. I'm going to put him in cut maker, but like, I think it would be, I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. You know what? I'm going to take him back out and put him in no take. Because honestly, I haven't watched Micah in a long time. I don't know where his current game is. I know he's grinding it out. I know he wants to play competitive. I know he's got a lot of raw talent. I've seen him get pretty squirrely, but I don't know where his game is now. So I'm just going to go no take. Yeah, that's it. Mason Nutt, YouTube golfer. FP. This one kind of pains me. Like, love FP. Again, love the whole Bob Does Sports crew. But FP is a YouTube golfer. You know, I know that he's like, I think he was, last I heard, he was like plus 0.6. So, like, I mean, he's doing better than scratch, but you need more than that to be on tour. I know that, I think really since he's been hitting the gym and stuff, his distance is getting higher. I think the guy's capable of getting to like somewhere in like the cut maker range. But as of right now, I would say that he's like a pretty high-end YouTube golfer. Trent Ryan, YouTube golfer. Sharf, YouTube golfer. Rick Shields. I mean, I think Rick Shields I'd classify as YouTube golfer. You know, he's on like the higher end side of that, but I think he has to be YouTube golfer. Paige Sporanic. Again, we're talking about like a ladies tour here. I am gonna go no take, I think, and that's only because I don't know a lot about the LPGA tour. I know that she's incredibly solid. She was very consistent at the Internet Invitational, but I just don't know what her you know what? No. I'm gonna go cut maker. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she could be a tour winner, or maybe she's nowhere near cut. But I know that I've seen at least some level of play at the LPGA tour, and Paige is like very consistent. I'm gonna go with cut maker. I could be way off here. I'm honestly not sure. Roger Steele is an interesting one. I'm gonna go YouTube golfer, and I think I might get a little bit of pushback on that. I know that Roger Steele showed up. I think he was impressive at the Internet Invitational, but I don't think that that's his standard. I think that he was kind of like, I think he was playing really well for himself. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think that he's going to be able to compete day in and day out on tour. I don't think he's going to make cuts. So we'll keep him in YouTube golfer, but very skilled regardless. Melosi is YouTube golfer. Sean Walsh. Sean Walsh is one of the best golfers on YouTube. The question is he's 100%, I think, either cut maker or tour winner. I'm going to go with cut maker, but I think he's the high end of the cut maker. I don't know that he would be able to win on tour, but I definitely think he can make some cuts. Riggs, YouTube golfer. Bubby, YouTube golfer. Okay, that's it. We've gone through our whole list. You know what? I've changed my mind, I think, on Chaz. So if I'm going to put Paige Sporanic, if I'm comparing them to the LPGA Tour, then I think it's only fair that I compare Chaz to the Adaptive Tour, and he's number 1. So he's tour winner. Like, you have to be fair about it. I can't really compare his distance numbers to like the likes of Bryson or Rory or anybody like that. It's not fair. I think so. We have to put him with the Adaptive Tour, and he crushes. So Chaz is a tour winner. I'll go ahead and submit my picks. So if you want to go to this site and submit your own, I mean, that would be awesome. Here's what happens whenever you're done. I'm the only one that's done it. I haven't told anybody about this app until now. So if you go and you submit your picks, we can see a breakdown of what everyone votes. And I think it would be pretty cool to see, like, what does the collective whole, what does the community think? And now, granted, this is going to be on YouTube, which is going to be heavy on the YouTube golfer scene. So I imagine that this won't reflect exactly what everybody in golf thinks. But it'd be interesting to see, how everybody rates YouTube golfers on their likelihood to make it on tour. So to review, going over to my submission breakdown, tour winner, we've got Wesley Bryan, Brad Dahlke, Chaz, last minute change of heart on Chaz. I think this is pretty obvious. Like I said, Wesley, I'm not sure if he could win today, but he has won. It is what it is. So that's how we're handling the tour winner category. Cut maker, I think the only one that I'm unsure about here is probably Kyle Berkshire. I'm leaning pretty heavy on his distance, to be honest, and I'm also leaning heavily on how much I know he's working on his game to be an all-around golfer. Maybe I'm off on that pick, but overall, I'm pretty happy with my picks in this category. YouTube golfers pretty much speak for themselves. Bob, Frankie, Mac, Garrett. I know that, Garrett's a solid golfer, but I don't think PGA Tour level. Josh Kelly, Peter Finch, he's probably the number 1 in this category, and you could make an argument for him being a cut maker, I think, but I'm pretty happy with my pick. Cold Cuts, Gabby Golf Girl, DOD King, Cole Lance, Mason Nutt, FP. I mean, he's loved, and people may argue with me just because of how much he's loved. I love him too, but just don't think he's quite there. Roger Steele, Rick Shields, Matt Sharp, Trent Ryan, Melosi, Riggs, and Bubby. Overall, I'm happy with my picks in that category too. I know there's a few close calls, but happy with the picks. And then no take, both of them, just because I haven't watched many of their full round content lately. It would be Paul's King and Micah Morris. I know they're both grinding for competitive golf, so they may be cut makers. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's my take. Again, this is an app that I built. You can go to trending.golf if you want to make your own submission. There will be a link in the description. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have for today. I'm curious what everybody thinks. I say I'm sick of seeing this debate all over the place, but honestly, I love it. It's interesting to see what the traditional golf space and the YouTube golf space, watch them collide. I do think the year 2026 will be interesting. I think that we'll get some sponsorship invites, and we'll see if the YouTube golfers really can compete.